You can respond in audio.
I was a network engineer. I was working in companies. For this moment, I'm now working because I'm studying my CCIE in network journey. Yeah, with Shank. Yeah, but I'm also interested in security. That's why I'm participating today. Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else?
I have. Sorry. Go ahead, please.
Anyone of from the fresher, like they are going to start in a security domain as fresh, like
I am fresher. Gul.
Okay.
Yeah, I am fresher.
Okay, so you are like searching for the jobs after the CCNP.
Exactly.
Okay. So have you read about the CCNA before this? CCNA
I am CCNA certified.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so let's start with the CCNA, Cisco CCNP security. First of all, thank you so much to attend these sessions. And today I'm going to start this CCNP security with you guys. Okay, so before starting the CCNA security, I like to discuss some of the curriculum with the Cisco CCNA and the CCNPs. So before that, we need to understand like how this is Cisco want us to study about this security. Okay, so according to the new curriculum, first, according to the new CCNA, we have a mixture of the routing switching, wireless, collaboration, and your securities. Right. Before this CCNA, the new CCNA, we have a CCNA in a different path, like the CCNA for the routing switching, CCNA for the security, CCNA for the wireless, and the CCNA for the collaboration. So we have a different streamline for the individual CCNA. So yeah. So, but if you see in a CCNA, the new CCNA, you will get to say that like from every stream you will get a like 5 to 10% from each of the streams. So it's kind of the mixture of the every streams, and after that you can move to the different path like CCNP, the enterprise. That's in the old term we called as a RNS, the CCNP security, the CCNP collaboration. So we have a different path after clearing the CCNA, according to the new syllabus. So when we move to the CCNP security, so we have like the core examination and the concentration examination. So let me just understand that what is the core and what is the concentration examination. So before that, I like to introduce myself. My name is Raj. I'm a Cisco, the ex-Cisco tag engineer. My specialist was like, my specialization was Cisco ICE. I used to give support to the SJs, America, Singapore, and the Australia customers. I have a 7 year of experience in the networking field, especially in a security field. And yeah, today I'm going to start about the CCNP security with you guys. Okay, so this is my profile. Now move to the next slide. So this will be your demo classes, the demo class day number 1. So in the day number 1, we are going to check about what is the CCNP, what's about the CCNP, what is the curriculum, what we are going to like. I have modified some of the CCNP syllabus according to the productions, the production demands, and I will going to teach like in this course I will going to teach you about something about the troubleshooting part. I will more emphasize on the production, like if you go to the production, how many types of issues you are going to face. I will going to share some of the real experience, like in the enterprise, the real scenario where the engineer used to face some of the issue with the with the ASA firewall, with your eyes, with some of the router and switches also. So I'm going to create some of the the troubleshooting ticket with you guys. Yeah, so this will be the our classes. We will move forward with these systems. So I'm going to start about the CCNP overview. Then we will go into the we will move towards the management plane, the device management planes, right? In the device management plane, we are going to see what is the data plane, what is the control plane, and what is your management plane. Then we will move to the telnet and the SSH. Okay, so let me share some of my syllabus with you guys. So this will be our rough syllabus. Like, why I'm saying rough, because I'm going to add some of the content for you guys. It is not it's not completed. I will add some of the content according to the according to your demand and how you are going to perform in these sessions. So yeah, this will be our syllabus. This will be this will be your foundation. First, we will go into the foundation block. So in the foundation block, the day one, we will going to start with the device management. After that, we will move to this all topics. After completing this topic, you may say that the 60% we will complete with your SCOR, because this is the foundation topics where we have to know. After that, we can move to the ASA and the IS. So yeah, so this will be the curriculum about the first foundation courses. Then we have some called ASA blocks. Wait a minute. Yeah, the next block will be the ASA block. In the ASA block, if you go to the your syllabuses, the CCNP SCOR syllabuses, so you will get to know that we have some of the the security concepts and the strategy, like how we will go into make a data center or the best architecture for the security of your company. Then we will have a TCP/IP network application and the endpoint attacks, right? If I talk about the ASA, it says that it's going to ask about your ASA, Cisco ASA appliances. It's kind of the introductory part of the ASA and the FTD. Then we have some of the basic topic cover in Cisco umbrella, the email securities and the web applications. We will going to start about the VPN introduction. It's only the introduction part, not a full VPN. We will cover in the SCOR, right? Then we will going to cover with the next generation firewall. Then we will going to cover some of the EAP, like the Cisco IS. Here we are going to cover here, and one second, and then we will move to the some of the layer 2 security also from here, the layer 2 security, and we will look after some of the cloud solution provided by the Cisco's here. So this topic will be your Cisco IS, EAP authentication. This will be your FTD new generation firewalls. This will be your VPN, and this will be your the WLC, and this is your email security appliances. So if I talk about the SCOR, it's all about the mixture of all topics. The mixture of all topics is contain only the 40 to 50% topic of each of the topics. Like if I talk about the VPN, if I talk about the ASA firewall, if I talk about the ICE, if I talk about the WSAs. So what we have, so in this course, what I have bring for you guys is one second. Yeah, so here we have bring some the course called SCOR for you guys. Along with the SCOR, I'm going to teach you about the SVPN, this module, because see, to gain a CCNP certificate, you need to clear one of the code exam, that's the SCOR exam. Along with it, you need to give the exam of any of this module. Then only you get a CCNP certificates. But where if you talk about the CCI certification, for that you need to have this SCOR, right? And after getting the SCOR, you need to have some of the knowledge of each of the blocks. Then only you will get fully prepared for the ICE lab. But if I talk about the if I talk about the CCNP security viewpoint, you need to clear the SCOR, and along with it, you need to clear one of these modules. So in this course, I'm going to teach you about the SCOR plus the VPN part. The VPN part means this one, the 300-730. Along with it, I'm going to provide you the bonus course, that is the next generation firewall. This will be your bonus course who are going to join this CCNP security course with us. So here I'm going to give a SCOR, your SVPN, along with it the SCF, right? Don't worry, I'm going to give the introduction of every module, like how the definitely I'm going to teach the in-depth about this firewall. I'm going to give an introduction about the ICE also, and I'm going to give an introduction of the email security, web security. We are going to going for the depth in a VPN part, and the introduction part for this Cisco security solution also. So after completing this course, I can guarantee you that you are fully prepared with your CCI, not for the lab, but for the theory part. For the theory part, you will going to cover all this content which will eligible you to sit on the CCI written exam. For the lab, you need to attend some of the boot camps for that, because we need a very huge lab for that, and for that lab you need the virtual machines, so and the appliances also. So this is a different story. For that you need to join the boot camps. But after attending our course, definitely you are going to eligible to sit for the CCI theory. So here you can see that ASA, I'm going to teach this module, this block in the ASA block. I'm going to teach this thing, and this course will be your end-to-end courses. Now, what is the end-to-end courses? So when I say about the ASA, the ASA will be start from the CCNA security to CCNP security, or you may say that more of that means CCI. Till CCI, you will get a knowledge of this ASA part also. Same goes to with your VPN part also. Like I have a mega VPN module for you guys. So in the VPN part, you will see that what's going on. Yep. So VPN part also, you can see that we have almost, approximately 25 hours of lecture only for the SVPN. So VPN part also, like we are going to start from the CCNA security to CCNP security plus CCI. Till CCI also you will get to understand that what is the VPN. Same thing goes with the here ICE. In the ICE here, I'm going to give us some of the introduction part. I'm going to give a introduction part of the ICE, which will going to definitely help in your CCI lab, but not in a CCNP concentration exam. We have a one ICE subject in a concentration exam. So that definitely that will not going to cover in a CCNP, but yeah, in a CCI lab, you will get to use about this ICE, like how you are going to use this ICE in your network topologies. So for that, if anyone want to interest in the ICE separately, then we are running some of the courses. Like upcoming courses are the only the ICE with integrated with the Meraki. I'm going to start this course only specifically only for the CCNP concentration for the ICE. So that for that I'm going to go some of the in-depth concept of the ICE, which will be not talked here, because definitely it will going to we're going to consume much more time for that, because this ICE is itself taking almost 40 to 50 hours to complete the CCNP level knowledge or CCN level knowledge. Okay, same goes with the same goes with the IPS also. I'm going to start with the IPS, some of the introduction. I'm going to show that how we will going to implement in our production line, and we can check with the basic the basic functionality with the IPS. Same goes with the WSA and FTD. Definitely FTD and the ASA I'm going to start in a CCNP level concentration paper for that. Along with it, I'm going to teach some of the wireless concept that will be integrated with your ICE. So this will be the wholesome syllabus for our CCNP security. Okay, anyone have any doubt till here?
Can you explain a little bit more about next firewall generation? It's a Palo Alto or some other firewall?
No, the firewall will be your FTD firewall. Your FTD firewall. But when we start the FTD firewall, I will teach first the ASA, because what I believe that if you want to learn about the packet level of ASA, the packet level of firewalls, you need to learn about the ASA first. If you get to know about the ASA, you have a very strong command about the the firewalls. So after that, we can move to the FTD. FTD is nothing like the advanced version of the ASA. All the concepts are the same, but the FTD have much more features. We have separate concept of the FMC also, centralized the server from where we can control all the traffics and all. Yeah, so here I'm going to teach about this FTD, what we call the next generation firewall. But before starting the FTD, I like to teach the ASA first. I like to teach the packet level, like how the packets are flowing, how the packets are interrupting. Like, see, what is the meaning of the firewall? It's simply blocking and allowing according to your policies, right? So most of the cases, like what I see, the most of the cases you will get to know in the ASA is blocking the packets, like traffic is not moving. So here you need to troubleshoot the ASAs, like why the packet is not moving from here to here. So to understand that much of concept, you need to have the packet level of understanding for that. And to get a packet level of understanding, we need to work with the ASA for that.
Okay, this is Maury here. I have a question. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so based on your explanation, after completing this course, this SCOR course, so we'll be fully ready or fully prepared, to sit for the CCNP security. I mean by CCNP security, the SCOR first, and then one of the concentration like the VPN or the firewall.
Yes. So in this course we have a SCOR plus SVPN. Definitely, if you give 2 exams, you will get a CCNP certification.
Okay.
But for the bonus purpose, I'm also giving the next generation firewall. So for that, you can check from here. This firewall I'm going to give a bonus as a bonus for you guys.
All right.
I have a question.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, but today in companies, they are using different firewall, not only ASA, but they're using also Checkpoint, FortiGate, Palo Alto, all these firewalls. Just after learning this firewall course, are we going to be able also to troubleshoot, for example, a Fortinet firewall, a Palo Alto, a Checkpoint?
Definitely. Why I'm choosing this ASA firewall to understand the concept of the firewall, because we are working as in a CLI. So if you guys see in a ASA firewall, the most of the we have a GUI, the graphical interface for that, ASDM, something that called. But the primary task we used to do in a CLI, right? So if you're talking about the Palo Alto and Checkpoint and all other stuff, you can do that, and definitely it's the whole hot product in the market. Like every company are using the Palo Alto with checkpoints in here. But still, if you want to understand how the packets are moving, why packets are dropping here, why the packets are not allowing that for that. So to understand in depth, you need to learn about the ASA for that. Because if I talk about the NAT-T, there is a concept of the NAT-T. NAT-T is using in a checkpoint also, in your Palo Alto also, in your ASA also. But in the ASA, what will happen that you will get to check from the CLI. You are going to configure the NAT-T here in the configuration. You will run the show command for the NAT-T. You will type some of the show command to troubleshoot these packet level inspection. So when you are using the CLI, so you will feel you will get to know about that. Okay, the packet is dropping here. Packet is not moving. The policies are made according to this company's. The policies are made according to the administrator. So you will get to know from the CLI. Okay, from the GUI also you will get to know that. But the CLI, what I feel that that if you want to understand the packet level, then you need to learn something about the ASA from the ASA.
Yeah, hi Raj, Rohit this side. So Raj, I'm from routing and switching background. So this is my first training session with security. So is it good for me to go for CCNP security first because I haven't done CCNA security?
No, see, right now, according to the, according to the Cisco, there is no CCNA security.
Okay, got it.
Correct. Once again.
Because my most of the experience is on routing and switching. I haven't exposure on security as of now, so that's why I have joined this training session.
Okay.
Yeah.
So okay, let me explain that.
Thank you.
So according to the CCNA security, it is an old syllabus for that. Okay. Now the CCNA, there's only CCNA. There is no security, no routing, switching, no collaboration. So in the previous time, like we have a CCNA security, we have a CCNA routing, CCNA collaboration. But what the Cisco has done, that they have combined everything. Like from the every stream, they had taken like 30%. And they take the security 30%, they take routing switching 30%, they take wireless 30%, they take collaboration 30%, and they mix everything and make a CCNA.
Yeah.
Right. So, but but according to the CCNA security is the best module. If I say CCNA routing and CCNA security, still the old syllabus is the best solution to start with your security. But right now the CCNA is completely different from that. So that's why what I say here, that I have modified some of the syllabus, and what I have made, that I have divided all these topics in a block, right? So when I start the ASA, I'm going to start with the CCNA concept first. Like if I take a ASA, if you go to the CCNA according to your old syllabus, you will get to know that only these 2-3 topics are in your CCNA security.
Okay.
Right. So what I have done, I have merged the CCNA security, the older syllabus, and your the new syllabus. So what we are going to do is, we are going starting from the CCNA security. We will take a block of ASA block. We will start a CCNA security, and we are moved to the CCI.
So it means this
CCNP.
training would training would be fruitful for me, right?
Yeah, definitely. So let me tell you, everyone, for this training, you don't require any prerequisite. No prerequisite for your security domain, but you need to have the concept of CCNA, at least for the CCNA RNS.
Yeah.
You need to know about the OSI model. You need to know about the IPv4 subnettings, right? The routing, at least routing, we should know about the OSPF, EIGRP, static default, right? Switching, we need to require a switching concept also, like VLANs, VTP, DTP, and STP, right? So I expect that all the candidates have at least CCNA RNS knowledge. Without the CCNA RNS knowledge, it will be very much difficult for you guys to understand the CCNA, the CCNP security. I don't want you to know about the CCNA security. You don't require any prerequisite for that, but at least you should know about the routing switching protocols.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So there would be a lab also in this training.
Yeah, definitely. So what I have planned for you guys is like, so I will do some of the individual lab for each and every topics. I will explain theory. Along with me, I will going to show some of the labs. So we will do some of the practicals. Like I will give a task for that. We will perform some of the practical for that. After that, we have one very big lab for that. Let me show you that labs for you guys. Just wait for a minute. I'm just stopping my sharing screen. Everyone, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so this will be our big lab. We will going to work on this lab. We're not going to cover the full lab because this is a CCI lab. Definitely, we are going to eliminate some of the application from here, and we will make a CCNP lab from here. And this lab is a Cisco recommended lab, right? So what I'm going to do is I will every day we will going to have some of the practical of each and individual topic. Like if today I'm going to start with the Telnet and SSS, we will perform 2 to 3 tasks. After that, like after completing some of the, because see, I'm not going to start a lab from the starting, because you don't have that much of exposure in the security. So definitely you with the knowledge of the Telnet and SSS from the first day, you are not going to complete this lab. You're not going to start this lab also. So first of all, we are going to complete this foundation course first. This yellow color block is the foundation to get started with the ASA and the VPN. So at least we start, we will complete this lab, this block. Then after that, we are going to start this big lab. We'll start working on this big lab. And how we will going to work on that? I will create some of the ticket for you. You must understand that there is a ticket in our organization where we put some of the trouble, we put some of the issues that, okay, I'm not getting a connectivity, I'm not getting the internet and all. So we register this issue in a ticket form. So like that only, I will register some of the ticket for you guys. I will make some of the changes. Like I saw some of the enterprise problem. I saw some of the issues, day-to-day issue in our enterprise. So from there, I will going to make a ticket for you guys. I will change some of the routing or some of the ASA configuration. I will create a problem here, and I will going to ask you to solve that ticket and submit. Like we will have a, like I will give a task to solve that ticket, and if you guys have any problem, then we will have a session of a Q&A. We will discuss that solution on the Q&A sessions. So this will be our the strategy to complete the CCNP lab. So first, what the strategy number 1 is, I will going to perform some of the practical for individual topics. And after completing that, we will move to this big lab. I will give a 2 to 3 tickets for that particular topic. Or like if you complete like 4 to 5 topics, then I will create a ticket which will cover that 4 to 5 topics. Like with the using of that topic's knowledge, you will start troubleshooting the tickets. So the 2 way we are going to start, we will going to perform this practical. So see, my main focus is that you guys are here. You guys is here to, like, you are getting knowledge. Either you are preparing for the CCI or you are in a job in a production field, right? So CCI also, you need some of the troubleshooting skills, and in production also, your primary task is to resolve the issues. Your primary task is not to deploy. Deployment is only for the one time, but the most of the time, and the company is paying for you only for the troubleshooting part. Like how you're going for the troubleshoots, like how you're going to resolve the issues. And from my experience, from my tag experience, what I saw that if you have a good approach in a troubleshooting part, anyone is going to give any amount of money to you guys. And companies especially paying for this troubleshooting part. So from that experience, I'm most of the time emphasizing the guys that you should work on your troubleshooting part. Like I remember that in my initial days in a tag, so we used to make some of the lab, and I used to make wrong configuration. I used to give the other candidate that, okay, see, I have changed some of the configuration and the packet is not traveling, so just check and do some troubleshooting. So we used to learn from that part also, like make some changes, like miss some of the configuration, type some of the wrong configuration, make different routing and switching, like, I'm saying that changes some of the configuration, give it to your colleague, or and start troubleshooting on that particular problem. You will get to learn that how you are going to approach the any issue or any ticket that you get. Okay, any other question?
No, Raj.
Okay, I'm getting some of the questions from the chat. Are you CCI certified yourself? No, I'm not a CCI certified. I'm a CCNP enterprise, and I'm also going to give the CCI. I'm already prepared for that. There is no lab in India, so I'm just waiting to open the lab, and I will going to give the CCI certificate for that. Any other question? Can we start with the sessions?
Yeah, sure, please go ahead.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, my name is Raju, sir. I want to ask some doubts. Sir, actually, I'm working in data center, sir. Here they are taking as L1. So mainly handling port issues, sir. But I didn't know how to configure about the carrier in the networking. Can you just to give me 1 minute, sir, about how can you move to the upgrading experience, sir?
Pardon me, please. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, yes, sir. My name is Raju, sir. I'm here working as a data center network engineer, sir. They are taking as L1. So they are not telling everything to us, sir. I'm confused about our career about fin networking, sir.
So basically, Raj is telling that he is in data center and he is a L1 engineer. So he wants to know about their stuff, like what is the stuff in L1 data center. You want to know that.
Okay, so every organization have the L1, L2 category and L3 category. So specifically for the L1, you will get a profile for like you have a limited profile for that. You will not get much of the access as compared to the L2 and the L3. You will go into limited access for the machines. You will have a primary job role for the monitoring purpose. Like you will going for the monitor and report to your L2 and L3. Yeah, so this is your profile will be like L1, L2, L3. So you want to ask about your changes of like you want to change your field or something else? Like I don't understand what you're saying.
Sir, upgrading skills, sir. How can I go?
Okay. Okay, upgrading skills. So definitely, yeah. So first of all, I like to say that CCNA routing switching is the must. Then after that, you should have the CCNP security part. This is the best option that you will upgrade your skill set, because CCNP security will get to know about the security part mostly for this VPN and one of the firewall. So CCNA routing switching and the CCNP security is the most deadliest combination till now in the industry. Definitely, if you want to go for the data center, I will suggest you to spend some of the time with your CCNA routing switching CCNP security. Then you can move to the data center part. But yeah, for the your career growth and all, you require a CCNP security, definitely. Because
Okay,
every company require a guy who can work on a firewall, and you don't know, like one company is using the checkpoint, one company is using the ASA firewall, one company is using the Palo Alto. You don't know about that. So what you should do that at least you should have a very good command over any of the firewall, right? So if you have a time, you can upgrade your skill to the different firewall, but you should have a very strong hold on one of your firewall. So basically, the security means in the company, it's a firewall and it's a VPN. This is the main component in the security, what I believe in this thing. This ICE and ICE and the WSA and the email security, everything is the add-on. This is the add-on thing of your security. But the firewall and the VPN is the must thing. You should have a knowledge over this.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, so let's start with the journey. So as I say that we have almost 6 blocks. This is the fundamental of the security. We are going to cover the fundamental security, ASA, VPN, ICE, IPS, WSA, ESA, and the stealth watch and the umbrella. Okay, fine. So 1 second. Okay, so when I say that security, like anyone have thought about that? What is a security? Like to whom I'm going to give a security?
The customer.
To whom okay, customer. And so if I ask about this security to your enterprise level or your production. So the concept is that in our networking, if I say that security concept of security, that means
it's a data security.
And
data security, your hardware security. I mean, yes, and also especially security focus on your data inflow.
Okay.
Your data
should
be encrypted.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so if I say that.
Yeah, can I say something?
Yeah.
When I heard about security, basically for me, it's about preventing unauthorized access, to specific resources, and also control, the authorization to my resources. Yeah.
Okay, controlling the authorization.
Yeah.
Okay. And someone say that security to the devices also.
Yes, exactly. Devices, your data.
Security to your data.
Yeah. Data in motion.
Okay. So if I say that, okay, see, I have a router here, and I want to secure this router, this device. Okay, so can anyone tell me like how we are going to secure this router?
Yes, we can create user with some authorization.
By means of HCL.
So that is your device security.
Yeah.
What we are talking about.
And second thing also, we can put this router in a lock, in a secure place in organization. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Like, what is the main purpose of this router? What is the main functionality of this router?
Routing part.
A routing part.
If I say
connect our network to the external world. Yeah.
Okay, so if I say the simple language, it is used to process the data. So
yes.
The basic functionality of the routing is to process the data.
Yeah.
So we have to secure this data part also.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So and where it is going to, where the data is going for, like what is the end point of this data?
I think the data will be either leaving our network or coming inside our network. So we have two ways.
No, I'm asking that like router is using to transfer this data, like, but I want to know that like where who is going to consume this data?
End users. Yeah.
The end user.
The data is for the user, and data is created for the user, and it is for the user.
Yeah.
Right. So we need to secure this user also.
Yeah, exactly.
So user is using some of the machines, right? Okay, so this is the basic fundamental of using the security in our enterprises. So Cisco, what the Cisco is doing, the Cisco come up with some of the concept called as the network foundation protection, NFP, right? So what the NFP said that let me open this notepad. So what the NFP said that we are going to divide some of these segments, the small segments, right? And we are going to protect individual segment, right? We have a segment number 1, we have a segment number 2, we have segment number 3 and the 4, right? And we are going to secure this segment.
So can you know the meaning of segment, sir?
Segment means I'm going to explain what is a segment, like what the segment I'm talking about. But segment is the group, like if I have some wholesome thing and we are dividing into the small pieces, so we are called these small pieces as a segmented. Understand? Okay, so
yes.
So Cisco is saying that with the help of your NFP, we are divided the wholesome into the small segment, and we are going to secure that segment individually. Now the question is that what is a segment? Like, to which segment we are talking about? So we are talking about, like what the Cisco is say, that we have 3 segments. One is the control plane, second is your data plane,
and management plane,
and the management plane. So we are going to secure each and individual planes in our infrastructure, right? So now we are going to see what is the what is the control plane, data plane, and the management plane, because this is the fundamental thing that we need to understand before starting with your security part. Okay, so yeah, Cisco introduced with the NFP, sorry, which is called that, which we call that it is divided into small segmented and focus to secure each of these segmented. Now the question is, what is the segment? So we have a segment called security plane, management plane, and the data plane. Now what the mean of that?
So control, sorry, yeah, please go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah.
So control plane is a routing, switching, and the protocol we use RP, STP, DHCP, OSPF, EIGRP, BGP, and management plane, management of the devices like via SSH, via Telnet, and data plane means forward the data, use data server, and forward data to end user.
Great. So let me tell you the simple English for this control plane. Control plane means that if anything which is consuming the router CPU, anything which is consuming the router CPU, we will call as the control plane. Now, if you are using the EIGRP or your OSPF protocol, definitely you are going to consume your router's memory. So because the router, what is the functionality of the router? It is processing the data. So to process the data, it is consuming the CPU. So if I say that CPU, if any data which is consuming the CPU, that's fall into the control plane. Right? Second is the data plane. So what the data plane is, that it is simply forwarding.
Sorry, can I stop you and ask you a question regarding the control plane? So in that case, the access control list, so are they part of the control plane or whatever? Because I think we have different sequence in the access list. So whenever a packet comes and it's being filtered, so I assume that that will be consuming, is CPU consuming, right? So is that part of the control plane or what plane?
Definitely, if it's consuming the CPU, it's going to be your data plane. If I say that telnet, if I said the telnet falls under the management plane, because we are going to take access of a router. We are managing the router, and to get managing of this router, we need a telnet and SSH. So definitely we can say that telnet and the SSH is that your management plane, because it is used to management and the administrative purpose of your iOS devices, means router, switch, or any ASA, right? But what the thing is going to happen is like this. Let's suppose this is your topology, R1, R2, and the R3, right? And now this user want to get access of this R3, right? And we have a the EIGRP protocol here and the OSPF protocol here, right? Now is this user is initiating the telnet for this particular R3. Now tell me, R1, for the R1, this telnet packet will we fall under this management plane or the control plane? Can anyone say? Just give me your guess.
Management plane.
Management plane. Why so? I'm not managing the R1. What I said, I want to manage the R3, right? But the telnet packet is flowing from the R1 to R2 and reaching to your R3. Now see the concept here.
I think at R1 and R2 level, it will be part of the control plane, because we are just routing, the packets, coming from the management station to, the R3 router. So we're not doing anything fancy on R1 and R2, but the management is happening, on R3.
Definitely. Now tell me one thing, when the user is initiating the telnet packet, right? Now the telnet packet is reaching to your R1. Now R1 is using what is called EIGRP protocol to sending this packet, because we have a connectivity between these routers with the help of the routing protocol. So when the R1 is using EIGRP protocol to send this telnet packet, so definitely R1 is going to use the CPU, right?
Yes.
To process this EIGRP. But I'm not going to use this. I'm not going to using this R1. I'm just want to access the R3. So definitely this telnet packet will not be the control your management plane for the R1. Same goes with your R2. But yeah, for the R3, it will be your management plane, because simply we are taking the access. We are not using the CPU. We are not processing that packet to send outside this router. Everyone, any doubt here?
No, we are good.
So we're good, but in that case, you agree with me that the ACLs, access control lists, are part of the control plane, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. Just to confirm.
Because it is it is processing your instruction.
Yes.
And it is utilizing the CPU.
Correct.
So that's why I say that whenever any packet is using your CPU, that will fall under your control plane. This is the simple concept, if I say.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah. So we get to know about what is the control plane. We get to know about what is the data plane. And now what is the data plane? What is your data plane? The simple English is that the data plane forward your packet simply. So again, See the topology, R1, R2, and R3. Now this R1 is sending the telnet packet to the R2. Now tell me, will it fall under the data plane for the R1?
I can say that R1 and R2 are directly connected. So in that case, there's no routing process involved because we are directly connected. So we're not using any routing protocol and so on because we're already connected. So you just send, using the MAC address, and just send the packet here.
But I want to understand that who is giving the instruction to forward this packet? Which plane is giving the instruction?
The control plane.
Definitely. Control plane is using the CPU and giving the instruction that, okay, this is the telnet packet. You need to just use the URGRP protocol and send it to the R2, R1 and the R2. Right. So I can say that an R1 also, it is using the data plane to forward this packet by using your control plane
informations.
Right. So so this is the diagram that I can show you that we have a control plane which is using your routing protocol, right? Some of the BGP. We have some of the number of lists for the routings for the IP routes. The number of the routes are there, so it is using the CPU utilization, right? So any packet which is coming to the router is fall under the data plane, but it is definitely going to use the control plane to forward this data, right? And some of the and we have a management plane. Like I want to access this R1. I don't want to send data through this R1. I don't want to go through this R1. I don't want to send the data. I just want to access this R1. So there is a concept of the through the devices and to the devices.
Okay.
This packet is for this R1, and one packet is using R1 to pass to the next devices. This is the through the devices, and one is the to the devices. Like so, management plane or the telnet is using the your to the devices, right? Okay. Anyone any issue, any problem till now?
So to summarize, you mean when we use the concept to the device, so in that case we're using the data plane, but when we're using the concept through the device, so in that case, the control plane is involved. Am I correct?
To the device is for the management plane, because
okay.
I want to get access of this R1. So it definitely fall under the to the devices, and it will your management plane. But the control plane, what is happening that there is a R4 here. Now packet is using this R1 to get into the R4. So through the R1, the packet is moving through the R1. Now that will fall under the data plane because it's passing the packets here from the R1 by using your control plane. Like how the R1 will decide, okay, I have to send this packet to the R4. If we have lots of devices here, R7, R8. So how the R1 is going to decide? By using your control plane. And in the control plane, you have all the routing protocols. By using this routing protocol, it will decide that which router we need to send this packet.
Okay. Because here we're just forwarding the packet, and on R4, it's not the management packet. So R4 is just receiving the packet. So in that case, this is the data plane. Am I correct? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. It's clear.
Anyone have any doubts? Because this is a very important concept to understand the security part, because we need to understand how the packets are moving and which plane the packet is following. Because from now onward, we are going to secure every planes. Like we want to secure this telnet, the management plane, that's the telnet, and SSH. We need to secure this telnet. Like anyone is want to access this R1 by using telnet, I want to know that who is this user and what is the purpose of that user for accessing this R1, and for the how much time, like how much time he want to get access for that. So this kind of security parameter I want to going to implement on your R1. I'm going to implement on your telnet, R1 telnet. So I just want to secure the management plane. Same goes with your control plane also. Same goes with your data plane also. So we are going to secure each and individual planes here. That's why the Cisco come up with the concept called this NPF. Okay, can
NFP,
we move
sir.
next?
NFP.
Yeah, NFP. NPF, sorry. Can we move to the next?
Yes, sure, please.
Yeah. So next we have a control plane. We have a definition here, like the traffic destination, you will be your network, or source will be your network device. Like what I say that for any data, if you're creating any data, there must be any sources, and there must be some destination for that. Okay, so the data, the what is the use of data if we don't have any sources or a destination? Like if I'm creating any MS Word in your computer, like, so that what that means, you're creating some data, you're generating some data in your local machine, right? So you're creating data. Now you want to say that, okay, I want to send this MS Word to one of my friends. So what you're saying, what you're doing, you're sending your data. So there should be your sources and there should be your destination of one of your data. Like if you're using your MS Word in your laptop also, you want to save your MS Word, some of your drive, D drive, C drive, you're going to choose the destination of the saving this file. So when there is a source, there will be a destination. And the journey between source and destination, we make to sure that data should be secure. And this is the concept of CCNP. We are going to secure the data. So what this control plane is saying that we are, whatever the packets are sending from the source to destination, it will be your control plane. For that, sending that destination, we need some protocol. To run this protocol, we need some of the CPU for that, right? And this data may be your IP or non-IP data. For the example, we have EIGRP, BGP, OSPF, BGP, ICMP data, ARP, STP, VTP, etc. Second, we have data plane. Data plane is used to the forward from the interface of our devices. So we are forwarding the data from the interfaces also. Like the data is coming from this interface and going from this interface, coming and going. And who is processing? This processing done by the control plane. So the data which is coming and going will fall under your data plane, right? And this data plane can work without your management plane. Like we have some of the protocol which is not for the telnet, which is not for the management purpose. We have different packets also. So we can that will be work without the management plane. And yeah, and this traffic will be your IP traffic. And if there is no non-IP traffic, we need to have a encapsulation that part we will going to learn in the next courses, how we will going to encapsulation, how we will going to decapsulation by using your PKI certificates, your cryptographies, everything we are going to teach. We are going to learn about that in the next classes. And the third plane is your management plane traffic. And today we are going to see the management traffic first, how we are going to secure the management traffic. Right. Okay. Can anyone tell me, like, if there is a router and I want to take access of that, I want to just configure that router. Can anyone tell me that how we are going to take access of that?
Via console cable,
via
Ethernet cable, cross cable.
Okay.
Yeah.
In physical, we need to take console cable. In logical, we need to take a Telnet and SSH.
SSH. Okay. That's the thing, is that to get access of your network devices, we have the three type of rules, or three types of the three types of way we can get access of this router one. First is your the three types of like ways we can take access of your routers. The first one will be your line console. Third is the line VTY. Sorry, second is the line VTY, and third one will be your aux cable. So have you seen any console cable?
Yeah.
The blue
Yes.
color
Yes.
console
Yes.
cable.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that will be
LAN
fall
cable.
under your console cable. And whatever we do in a telnet or SSH, we are going to use this line VTY. And when, like, we have a router 1 and router 2 here, router 3 here, and you are user here, and you want to do some configuration in a router 1. So we have a two ways. Either you go physically take a console cable access for this router 1, or you can simply initiate the telnet for this router 1, or you have a aux cable for that.
I think cross
The
cable.
serial
Not
cable also.
sorry, cross cable. In those days, we use cross cable.
Okay, but right now we have, like, the latest devices. We have a aux cable, the blue color of the console cable, and the the line VTYs.
Yes.
These three ways we can take access of that. And now we are going to see how we can secure this telnet, console cable, and your aux. I'm pretty much sure about that. In CCNS routing switching, you know that how to configure the telnet, how to configure the SSH.
Yes,
or what is the
I know.
main
Yeah.
function of
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Okay, but here what we are going to do is we are going to take some of the security steps, like who is going to take this console, the user, the password, and we are going to put some of the privilege for that. Like if we have three engineers, one is the senior, one is the junior, one is the intern. So we will make a username according to this role, like user 1, user 2, user 3, and we will say that, okay, the senior one will get a super admin, like he can access everything. User 2 will going to use some of the config show command, and the intern will going to see about the only show command. So for the individual user, will going have some privileges to access that devices. So now we are going to learn about that, how we are going to authorize the user when when the user is coming through your telnet. Okay, so here we have the as I say that we have a console cable here to get access, the access of your devices. I suppose I believe that there are some like most of the guys have seen this console cable and the port, the devices. So this is the console port and the console cable. This blue color is the console cable, and this port is particularly for the console port. So now when any user is coming from this line and hitting this port, so I want to secure this port. I want to secure that whenever any user coming from this line, I want to make a restriction over that. Right. So the first method is the console port. So here it is, by default you can access the management, and you can make a configuration over these devices, right? Second thing is, by default there is no protection, there is no password. If you just insert your console cable, you get a full access over that by default. Like if I say that the factory devices, so by default there is no protection, no password, and there is no timeout set on that. Second point is the line VTY, the most important topic for that. So everyone knows about the telnet. What is a telnet? What is a SSH? So can anyone tell me what is the difference between the telnet or the SSH? I believe you must read in your
yes,
CCNA.
SSH is encrypted traffic, and telnet is a plain traffic. Everyone can see the password and the other thing, but in a SSH, in an encrypted password, so SSH is more secure as compared to telnet. So SSH is use port 22, I believe, and telnet port 23.
Okay, that's great. But I want to know that why, if it is unsecure, definitely it's totally depend upon the the security administrator, what protocol he is going to use. But still, the telnet is using in a production. So what is the reason behind that? Is this a general question that I'm asking from you guys? You say that telnet is the plain text, like you can see all the plain text, and the SSH is the protection, like it will get a crypt like hash values.
Yeah.
So why still we are using the telnet? If there is any logic behind that or anything. See, there is no
as a backup. If SSH is not working, then telnet would work. So we are allowing transport input SSH and telnet both at the same time.
Okay, that's good answer. But still, the thing is that telnet and SSH is totally dependent upon your administrator.
Yeah, we can say like that.
There is no logic behind that. If you want a more secure, you can use SSH. If your administration have no concern with your security part and all things, you can use the telnet. The SSH is the latest one. If you want your management plane traffic should be more secure, then we can use the SSH, right? Okay, so we have a line VTY.
So sorry, why we use telnet? Why? What is the reason behind this?
Reason behind is that you want to get access of the management. Cisco have provided the telnet also and the SSH also. We have a two option for that. one is your passport protected, one is your simple plain. That's totally depend upon your company's administrator, what protocol he is going to use for these SSHs.
So basically, you mean to say it depends on admin?
Yes, like how your admin is going to configure that. That's totally depend upon that. Cisco have provided the two options for that. One is Telnet and SSH, but the thing is that like we have some of the protocol, like in the next classes, like we will learn some of the protocol where some of your password is going for your simple test, and some of your password is going in a crypto, like hash values. So Cisco is always provided two options for that. So it's totally depend upon you. Like some of the question, like some of the interview also, you are going to ask for that, why you are using the Telnet and not SSH. So you can go into ask that, tell that, okay, we can use the SSH, we can use the Telnet. Cisco have provided two options, but still to get a more secure about your traffic management traffic, we can use this SSH. Okay, so we have complete that console cable. The console cable is simply just put on the your port, the cable in your port, and simply you will get by default you will get a no protection, no password. Simply you can get access of your devices. But yeah, we can configure to protect this console. We have some configuration to protection that we will going to see after this lecture. Second thing is that line VTY. So the line VTY, we are going to use the Telnet and the SSH. So line VTY means that any packet which is coming to these devices like R1. Okay, so line VTY is going to use like the router have, like if I say that line, have you seen the configuration? Like if you start the line VTY 0 and 4, like the first command is the line VTY 0 and 4. What this command is saying is that, okay, any user who is coming from the Telnet have 5 options to enter into your R1. Everyone getting my point? If I say that 0 and 4, that means you have 5 lines. If I say the line VTY 0 to 9, that means we have 10 ways to enter into R1.
Means we have 10 sessions, right?
Yes, you can say that. Means the 10 line you can get to access into your R1. And by default, any devices, the iOS version is supporting the 100 VTY lines. Like you can make the 0 to 99. Why we can't make 0 to 100? Can anybody tell?
That will be 101, and that will be over, the capacity of the VTY.
Definitely, correct. So that's why, because we will consider 0 as a 1. Don't go with the value of 0. 0 will represent your 1. 1 to 100 means 0 to 99.
So can we give one line VTI 101?
101 means this one, like this?
No, line VTY 1 space 101.
No, by default we can support, like see here we have by default it is 100 line VTY supported by the iOS
between
version.
1 and between 1 and 101 between 1 and 100 we have 100 line VTI as well.
Yes,
we can say 1 and 100, right? Line VTY 1 and 100 it is also suitable.
So the main thing is that we only get 100 lines.
So it is not mandatory to start with 0, right?
No, you can like if you say 0 to 4, next line you can use the 5 to 10.
Okay.
Line VTY 5 to 10. You can make a separate line VTY for the separate users, right? Okay, and the second point is that definitely it is not a password protected by default. When you going to start the telnet for the first time, it is not a password protected. We can use the ACL also to authorize, when I say that the router 1, I want any user coming from the line 3. I have made the user 1, user 2, user 3. So I want when the user 2 come from the line 3, he will get a privilege, only the show command. So all this thing can be restricted, can be make a policies, from these ACLs. We will going to see like how we will going to do all the configuration. But first of all, I will need to understand that what is the line VTI, like what is the definition of each and every configuration of a telnet and SSH. Okay, there is another concept called in-band management and out-band management. The very important topic, the in-band management and the out-band management. Just you want to know that any packet which is coming from the line VTY, line VTY from other devices, packet is coming from the other devices, it will be fall under your in-band management. Have you seen that HTTPS? Like when you're going to access your Palo or your ASA firewall or any ICE. So we type some of the HTTP here and we type some of the IP. We will get a GUI access. Correct?
Yes.
So that one also your management plane, and that will fall under your in-band management. And what is the out-band management? Out-band management is simple. That's if you are going to get a device by using your physical, like console cable, aux, and all kind of things. Okay, so we have understood this part, that what is a telnet and SSH. Like we have a telnet for this plain test, SSH for the secure purposes. Okay, so now the question is that how we will get to access of your router and switches via line VTY. So we have 2 steps to get access of this line VTYs. First, we will going to configure the Telnet services, right, in your network device, to tell the devices that you have to open your Telnet or SSH services. We literally tell the devices that, okay, boss, you need to open these services. For that, we need to configure some of the command line for that. We are going to see that what is the command line for that. And your second step is, after telling that you have to enable the Telnet services, you have to configure the authentication request for that. What that means? Again, the same concept. When any user coming from user number 1, we need to check the user putting the username and the password is correct or not. Right? So we need to set the authentication request for that particular user. First, we will open a telnet. Then we will tell that any user who is coming from the telnet, we need to have authentication for that. How we will going to authenticate for that particular user? We are going to see
username and password. Slide.
Yes. Any problem till now? You can ask.
Continue, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so our first step is to start this Telnet services. So our very first line will be your line VTY. and you have to tell that how many line you have to open for that. And for that, we will tell this, okay, we need the 5 line that is starting from the 0 to 4. You can assume that 0 and 4 as a name. The syntax will be your name. Under this name, you will get a 5 line. You can assume like that also to get an understand of that 0 to 4. Right. So first command will be like, we need to tell that, okay, boss, you need to, we need to configure for 5 lines, right? After that, we need to configure the transport input. Okay, transport input, and we have the option called telnet SSH, telnet SSH, and the none. So what the transport input will say that, boss, you have to enable the services. This is the command which will tell the router that you have to open the services. For which services? Now router will going to ask us which services. So we have this 4 option: telnet SSH, telnet SSH both, and the none. We don't want to use none of your services, right? Till now we have a configuration for line VTY. We need to tell the router that we require 5 line. After that, transport input, we need to tell the router that you have to enable the telnet, right? And after that, we need to tell the router that you need to authenticate. Whenever any user is coming to the telnet, you need to authenticate that request. So for the authentication, we have a command called login. Okay, so whenever any customer, any user is coming to the telnet, when he's used to try to log in into the your devices, so what I said, by default there is no password, no username. So anyone can come, anyone can access the router user. But I want to secure that management traffic. So to secure that management traffic, you need to log in and put some authentication policies here, right? So let me check with the first policies. What that called? Login local. Okay, what do you mean by this login local? So when
okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry,
you can say. Anyone can give answer.
Yeah, login local means the router will be checking into its local database. Mostly we can create a user using the username command. For example, username Maury, password, or maybe secret, and specify a password the user will be using. So all users will be creating that ways. Those users will be able to log in using the VTY port.
Okay, that's great. That's a good answer. So basically, when we say that login local, it means say that you need to check your local database. What do you mean by the local database? It means that you need to check your router itself to get your username and the password. And where it is contained? It is contained into your router only. In a router memories, it is already safe. So that means you have a username and the password in a local only, and you need to check that password and the username in router itself. Everyone is clear till now? Any confusion in the local, login local? If I say the login local, it means if inside your router, if I have a user 1 and the password is your Cisco 123, it is safe inside your routers. So it will going to, any user come with the user 1 and put the Cisco 123, it will going to check inside your router, confirm from your router, and it will going to pass the authentication and allow for the telnet. So this is the mean of your local router. Okay, so second point is the no login. We're going to perform some of the tasks with this this telnet. So no logging means that any user which is coming to your router require no login password. No authentication will be happen. So I want to say that no, I don't want any user or any any traffic to authenticate my router. So simply we can say that no login. Correct. So logging local is complete. No logging is complete. Now the login. What do you mean by the login? It's the simple login. It means that whenever you configure your username and the password inside your line VTY, inside your command of line VTY, if you configure here inside your line VTY, it is going to log in. It's going to use your authentication, your line VTY pass username and the password. So two-way we can store the password, username and the password inside your router and inside your line VTY also. Correct. So for that authentication, we are using the line VTY, the username and the password. We are going to see the configuration for this particular login, no logging, and the local login. And the logging auth, it is simply means that boss, you need to check your any AAA server. If any user coming from the coming from the line number 1, router 1, so router will going send the request to the AAA server, because I don't want to store the username and the password. Let's suppose I have a company where it is a 1 lakh employees working there, and 1 lakh employers having the 1 lakhs of data like username and the password. So definitely I'm not going to use my router for that purpose, because router, the main purpose of the router is to forwarding traffic. I don't want to consume the resources of your router. So for that I need some of the different server to store all the all the username and the password. So for that we need a AD, Active Directory. We have a Windows server. I think everyone heard about that Windows server.
Hello.
Yeah.
So Active Directory is only stored for like desktop applications. So that authentication user access only, no, sir. Like router user authentication also it can be stored, sir.
Yes. See, what the topology will be like that. Router is connected with your one of your AAA server. In our case, we are going to study about the ICE. That's called the ICE. And ICE we have connected with your AD. Right. So anyone is going to access this router through your line VTY, and we have configured login auth. It will simply use the username and the password. Sorry, it will simply send the request that okay, this is the username and this is the password to your ICE. And ICE we have some of the configuration where we can use the AD server to check the username and the password, or ICE itself contain the username and the password. ICE have the two kind of the identity sources. One is your external, that is using your AD, and your internal server. The external server is an internal server, right? So from here it will send a challenge, it will accept and send the acknowledgement that okay, it's accepted. After accepting that, the router will send the allow the access for the line VTY. So in the production you will get a maximum this logging auth command, because definitely they are going to use the AD or the AAA server for that. Like some of the small company or some of the the best practices is that you need to use your AD, Or if you want to, you say that, okay, just I don't want to serve my purpose. I just want to authenticate. I don't want any username, password, all that kind of stuff. Simply, again, the Cisco have all the features on that. You can use any of that. Same like with the Telnet and SSH. Either you can use your protection, password protection, or you can simply use your plain text. Any problem till now? Everyone understood that?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, now we will going to do some of the practical, like whatever we have learned, we are going to implement on our task, our lab. So okay, so our first task will be like task number 1. It will be like the router, this router, this one will be your R1, this one will be your R2, right? So first task will be this router 2 should authenticate the Telnet user using line VTY password. This one will be your first task, that I want to get an access of this R1 by using only line VTY password, right? So what will be our command line? First, what I said, first we will tell that we need lines, line VTY 0 and 4. Let's suppose 0 and 4. First command will be like this. Second command will be like, we will tell that you have to enable your Telnet services. What will the command for that? Anyone can help me out?
So the other line is not line VTY password, not password here.
No,
transport
I want
input,
to just
Telnet.
Transport, yeah, transport input and Telnet. Okay, if I say, boss, I don't want to authenticate, I don't want any services, so what will be your command for that?
Transport input none.
Great. Okay, I want to access Telnet and SSH both.
Transport input Telnet SSH.
Yeah. Great. And I want to access the SSH only.
Transport input SSH.
That's great. So what we have done, we have created a line and we have enabled the services. Now, according to this task, what we are going to do, what the task is said that the R2 should authenticate the Telnet user using the line VTY password. What
so
that means?
We will have to create the user at the line VTY level.
Exactly. We are not going to use the local. We are going to use the line VTY password. So we are creating the password under your line VTYs. Are you getting my point? Under your line VTY. When I say the local, the configuration will be different from the line VTY password. So let me complete this first. Okay, then we will then we will say that, okay, boss, you are going to log in. Right. And now can you tell me what will be command after this login? I show you some of the command line for that. Let me show you again.
If you want the AAA server authorization, then login authorization. If
No,
you want,
I want to authenticate the user using your line VTY, right? So how the user will going to log in?
Login via console.
No, console. Telnet is not a console.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So login line zero login.
IP address.
I think that's all. We just hit login. We just hit enter at this point.
yeah,
There's
That's
no
great.
specific, nothing to add.
That's great. There is no specific for that, because I'm telling the user that you have to use, you will have, you need to use your line VTY configuration. Like you need to check your line VTY password and username and the password for that. For that, we are not using any of your command line after login. If I say that, okay, you need to use your local configuration, the local, local username and the password. For that, what will be the command line after that login?
Local.
Simply local. So whenever we will configure the login local, the user, the router process start to check the local, local space, the local disk. Okay, so for this particular task, we are going to login. Now the user get to understand that, okay, I have to check from the local login, sorry, only the login, and we need to configure the password under this line VTY, and password will be your Cisco 123. That's all. The task will be complete here. So first line VTY.
So sorry, I have one question here, please. If you sometimes we just when we configure router and some enable, and after that we said enable secret and password, and after that yeah. So why we just put secret password on router?
That will be your for the SSH. I'm talking about the telnet only now.
That for SSH, right?
Yeah, because SSH, what we have the encrypted password for that. Everything will be encrypted. If we check the line VTY here, the line telnet here, we will get to know about the username password in the plain test. Whatever we configure here, the Cisco 123, we can check this password directly. So to just encrypt that, we need to put a secret. Okay, so let's perform this practical. Just give me 1 minute. Huh? Anyone have any doubt, you can ask from me. Till then, I just want to check my resources.
My issue is regarding the aux line. I have never used it. I've never used it before. I know about the console and the VTY, but the aux I've never used it. So do you have experience of it, and explain me a little bit how that works?
Aux is simply like your console cable. There is no difference between that. Let me show you this aux. Yeah. Can you check this one?
Okay, I can see this.
Yeah, this is your aux cable. You can use your console cable here, and you can use your aux cable here.
Is it like those kind of mini USB console cable? The new type of console? Okay.
I think this is HDMI cable. This is
No,
HDMI cable.
No, it's not HDMI. It's like, the it has one end, like kind of old phones, because I remember I have a phone that had, that end, charging port like this. Yeah.
Because
it's
some
not
of
Android,
the aux cable have like, this is the aux port and this is the USB port. So like some of you can use your laptop to get access of your devices also, because some of the console cable have that RJ5 ports for that, and some of your laptop do not contain that port. So for that we have a USB cable for that, aux cable and the USB cable for that.
Okay, because I've heard that, like I said, I don't have experience using that kind, but I've heard that, we use that aux port, to connect, aux cable to connect to a modem so that we can remotely, control, the router. So in that case, I was a little confused about, the difference between, SSHing or telnetting in the device and using, the so I don't know if I have, the great explanation, but that's what I've heard about, the aux port.
No, aux and the console cable
are both the same.
Is for the physical connectivity.
Oh, okay.
Right, because you need to put an aux cable here and you will get access. When I say the line VTY, means you are using some of the devices to get reach to your main devices.
Okay.
You can say that it's a remote, or you can use a VPN. You can use from your, you can use the internet here. You can create a VPN and you can initiate your data packet from here. You can get access of your R1.
Okay.
Either you connect it or you can use your VPN connection if you want your remote access for that.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, so I'm getting some of the issue with the lab. I think I'm not able to do some of the practical as of now, but we can do that tomorrow. We will complete this telnet practical. We will do some of the tasks for the telnet. Then we will move to the SSH, and we will complete rest of the control plane and your data plane from there. So this will be our the learning methodology, that we will complete each of the topic. We will perform each of the tasks for that related topic, and after completing some of your the basic module, then we can jump to your this big lab.
Hello, sir.
Because
so can I ask?
Yeah.
Can I ask something different questions, sir? Not related this. Sir, can I ask you? So,
yes. Go ahead.
Sir, MPLS is a multi-protocol level switching. So this is provided some different vendor, or only ISP they provide this type of networks?
MPLS, basic function of this all the protocol is to transfer the data, right? So some of your easy protocol are using your easy protocol is using the unsecured traffic. Some of your largest protocol is using like the MPLS want to hide your some of the identities, so it is using your the labels, I think. Yeah, so by using the labels they are switching the packet from one to another. So it's totally depend upon the like how you want to transfer your data, how securely you want to transfer data, and how fast you want to transfer your data. So again, we have lots of options for that according to your requirements, according to your company's requirements. The administration will going to configure that protocols. Okay, anyone can ask any questions? We are good to wrap up the session as of now. Tomorrow we will complete this practical part and we will move to the next the next topic for that.